Hello, good day to everyone who will listen to this workshop and webinar. My name is Liga Reimer. I am a professional naturopath, about 5.5 years. And since we came into holistic health concept and world, our diagnosis in family disappeared. And today I will introduce you and talk about anti-parasite gut cleansing. Do we need it? Why do we need it? And how mostly efficiently and friendly we can do it. Before I start my presentation, I would like to share with you my screen. So you can see I have also prepared the presentation, so you can see it very well as well. So first and most vital question, why do I need regular anti-parasite gut cleansing? Is it that important? Where can I infect? And some people who do honestly understand that is needed, however, have no clear guidance how to do it body friendly, mostly naturally, and how to do efficiently. So today in this webinar introductive, I will tell you all about it. Little bit about myself. We're currently living in Spain. However, we've been living in UK for a long time and Latvia. And these are my two children. And my oldest son, Sebastian, which you can see here, was very, very ill child. By age of 3 years old, he developed very heavy mid-ear infection. At that time, I didn't know anything about holistic concept and gut cleansing, but you can see dark circles under eyes, really run down, no energy, constantly ill, antibiotics for 3 years, very heavy mid-ear infection, and he ended up with a loss of hearing. And I'm looking for a solution. I had to stumble upon the holistic health concept, and gut cleansing was vital part of it. So today in this webinar, I want to share not only facts and knowledge, but also things which work perfectly in a real life. And as you see today, he is 12 years old, his hearing is recovered, he is absolutely healthy, his body is well, he's growing really a clever boy, he's learning lots of foreign languages, and he is actually very, very good. And his health, you can see from the face here, is much better because of these simple health steps you need to apply. And particularly most important one for children is gut cleansing. And now we move in why. And I'm not going to go in a whole story of my family. I had massive overweight problems with high cholesterol, migraines, blood pressure problems, liver problems, and my husband was diagnosed with asthma since being a child, and he couldn't exercise very well without Ventolins and so on. My daughter frequently had colds and lots of health problems, and you had to come across it to actually realize that there is a solution and to find it. So when we're talking about health, I want to start going into the webinar. We need to see what our health depends on. And as I mostly heard in my family generational teachers, we knew that our health depends on genetics. However, genetics is only 15% approximately. If in our family we had from both sides, my side, my father's, my husband's side, we had oncologies, diabetes, we had blood pressure problems, bone, spine problems, and so on. So I was questioning myself whether that's a baggage and luggage I'm going to have as well, and my children, and we can't do anything about it. Also, medicine, people think medicine is one of most factors their health depends on, which is not true. It's only about 10%. And it's not when we sit and wait there for symptoms and diagnoses appear and then we start taking pills. But it's when you look in here, 60% and more even, I would say, an environment where we live in, our environment, whether it's big cities, what kind of water we're drinking, what our lifestyle, how much stress, what kind of food we're eating, what's around us, how toxic is, how polluted is the air, soil, how much pesticides I have in our food, and so on, what all these other things around us. It actually makes 60 and 16, 20, 80% of our impact to our health. So I want you to understand that, I would like you to understand that lifestyle, environment we are in is the most playing role, not the genetics and not the medication. And my family and many, many clients of ours actually proof to it. If we would have all these diagnoses, we arrived at holistic health concept and holistic knowledge, systematical health regeneration, when we had already all these diagnoses going in. This year, I'm currently 49 and I feel better than I was 35, just down to not having the knowledge. And I realized that all these diagnoses now disappeared from our family. For 5.5 years, we haven't been to pharmacy and we have no need in it. Just following the holistic body regeneration. So let's go a bit deeper. When we look about our body, you understand about lifestyle. But when we look deeper in our body, organs, diagnoses, and so on, it's not just body and organs and together. When we look, our organ systems are formed from organs, and our organs are formed from tissues. But when you look at our tissues are formed from cells. And one cell and all these trillions and billions of cells, they actually represent our body. So, and these 30 and more trillion cells regenerate regularly, regenerate every 100 days, or regenerate different organ cells, different immunity cells, and different cells regenerate in different terms of time. But our lifestyle and our environment is a main constant which impacts the health of the cell. If we go in further, I always like to compare our cells in the body as a fish in an aquarium. And when we look at our cell, what are the main requirements for healthy cell to be healthy and produce these two healthy cells? Because as we know from microbiology, one cell produces two other cells. If cell is pathological already in a core, it's not going to produce healthy cells, right, guys? Only healthy cell can produce one healthy ones. So when we're looking at the health requirements, what makes our cells healthy? So there it is. I really, really like this picture. And first, what we need, it's oxygen. We all live, we need oxygen, so does the fish. And we need good quality ionized structured, I call it life water. It's a healthy water. So quite often in my practice, when I talk to people, they say, yeah, I drink water, not the even quantity. Everyone talks about quantity, but hardly anyone talks about what kind of quality water to drink. For example, environmentally, people mostly drink tap water. Tap water is full of toxins, full of dirt, full of chemicals, byproducts, medical leftover products, and pesticides. What's going in our soil, and then we drink it all through the tap. Also, the quality of the taps that water circulates, it's disgusting, honestly disgusting. And our cell requires clean, structured, ionized, negatively charged. Also in other lectures we talk about it more closely. Also, to be healthy, what our fish need? You need a good food. You're not feeding it with chocolate. You feed with a good food, healthy food, and cellular nutrition, we call it, where's all the proteins, amino acids, enzymes, vitamins, and so on. Also, we protect it from against the harmful factors. For example, breaking the glass, too much stress, and lots of environmental factors which we can't control. But what we can control, it's oxygen, water, nutrients and cleansing process we can control. Sometimes we can't control environment, but we can control our lifestyle, right? This is down to us, not to anyone else. And as soon as you realize it, the better it is for you, because you then understand that you are one responsible for your health. And today I will be talking about this regular cleansing, because when fish lives for some time in an aquarium, one of the requirements is not just oxygen and structured water and good quality clean water and nutrition. We do need to understand that cleaning is a part of life. Detoxification, regular good cleansing, colon cleanse. We're not going to talk today about colon cleanse. I'm going to be more talking about parasite cleanse, but good cleansing. And this part of life, when a fish tank is dirty, you don't put there more medication. You clean the tank, right? You just pick up the things you need to, you remove gently the fish, and you do cleaning. And that fish feels so much better in clean water, nutrition. And so today I will be talking about it. Why? And particularly, I will be talking about anti-parasite gut cleansing programs and herbs, and why we can't do this and why we prefer to do this. Why? Because our immunity, when we talk about immune cells and immunity and a strong immunity and good energy and good health, it's all down to our gut condition. 70-80% of my immune cells are formed in a gut. And it contains a huge amount, it's a huge community living inside us, which we don't know and don't see every day. And it's called microbiome, and immune cells are formed there, 70-80%. Also, there are tonsils, adenoids, which you get cut out, something too much infection, which every single organ in the body is needed. When we designed by God to have these organs, they're all vital for something. For example, spleen, it filters the blood and stores blood cells and pellets to fight infections. Glands, tonsils, adenoids, bone marrow, lymphatic vessels, appendix, which you get quite often cut out. It also restores body balance and healthy good bacteria after infections. What happens in nowadays traditional medicine? Oh, it's too full, it's too dirty, it's causing so many trouble. We cut out tonsils, we cut out appendix, and so on. This is not the solution. If we know that up to 80% of our immune cells and all these good beneficial bacteria are growing and stored in there. So what our main task is in life? To clean it, to restore microbiome balance, to make sure it's healthy, because I want to move in and to talk about microbiome. What's its microbiome? Little bit. Microbiome is it's a part of our, it's a digestive tract. If we talk about digestive tract, it doesn't end only in our gut. It starts with our mouth, what's going in. So our task is with the stomach and liver and everything. It's digest the food, absorbs the nutrients, ensure immune cells are located in intestines, eliminate toxins, waste product to get out. That's a pee and poo. Microbiome is a trillions of bacteria and fungi and other microorganisms that live our intestines to help us synthesize vitamins, regulate our immunity, protect against infection. It influences our mood, our hormones, our weight, it controls inflammation in the body, affects our energy levels, skin conditions. And we know as microbiome is called as a second brain of a third nervous system. When you have, I had the customers who experience, for example, panic attacks. We do not start with pills to calm nervous system down. We do them as well. There's natural saffron and griffonia and so on. But first priority is our restoring microbiome, clean our gut of pathogens, because our main problem starts when we, with our lifestyle and environmental factors, we disrupt the microbiome. There are trillions of bacteria, good and bad ones. Let's say really simply, our main task is to look out. So these bad guys is always in a smaller amount, and a good guys is in a bigger amount. Because good and bad guys, all they needed in guts, because the good ones are doing the most work, but bad guys are like a training ground for good guys. They're fighting the bad guys, and so it's never going to be your gut, never going to be sterile, and they both are needed. Everything in a gut, what's going on there, these microorganisms, all these bacteria are needed, or trillions and trillions of them. However, problem starts when people ignore the signs, ignore the lifestyle, ignore the detoxification, parasite cleansing, and everything. And for example, fungi, bacteria, viruses, candida, all the worms, ascarides, and so on, roundworms, and all these nasty things which we're going to be talking today about. And I'll show you science as well, how you actually see whether you have ones, what they actually like, and how we're exposed as well. And interesting thing is, when we ignore this all, then all these bad guys, they get much bigger amounts. And already these good guys, police guys, who trying to track all immune cells, and as a good bacteria, probiotics, prebiotics, try to track down bad guys, they too overwhelmed with the workload. And every time a new virus comes in, every time new pathogen comes in, we don't live in sterile world. That's it. Immunity just boom, goes down, and we ill. We constantly ill. We can't deal with inflammation. We can't deal hormonal disruptions, weight problems, mood problems, swings, skin conditions. Skin is a mirroring just your gut conditions. Skin is just a mirror of what's going on inside in your skin. When you in a gut, when you actually clean out your gut, I've seen it in my practice 100 times, people's skin just magically improves, and you don't need all these hormonal creams and so on. So when we ignore all this, also a sign for children, which had my son as well experiencing, when you have too many bad guys going on in here, and it's not just liver overpowered by toxins, kidneys overpowered, your intestinal health is compromised. So little children quite often have problem, also lots of spots around the mouth, because digestive tract and intestines is not just down there, but also starts here. And all these bad spots and everything around the mouth is just people who have regular problems with tonsils, always going to have lots of spots around the mouth, problems with dry lips and feeling skin or spots. That just a sign that microbiome is compromised. That's from my own practice and from my customers. And when we go back to this one, where our all autoimmunity disease come from, it's all comes down to our gut conditions. Like for example, if you look here, that's a normal gut lining, mucosa cells, intestinal cells. They normally present a layer of intestinal mucosal lining layer, where is also blood vessels and neurons, which is connected to your brain. But also there are these nice line brushes, like carpet brushes. And this normal gut lining, mucosal intestinal line, is quite tight, which is really, really good, because it keeps in a gut everything, toxins, pathogens, undigested food particles, and it does not get in a bloodstream, because under it, it's a bloodstream. Problem starts, our biggest triggers, and I've seen it in practice as well, people got high stress, too much stress, toxic environment, it's pathogens, which is worms, candida, and lots of polyps and so on in a gut. They disrupt all this microbiome balance. Like I said, bad guys suddenly in a huge amount, and good guys, good bacteria, microbiome can't do any more work. It's too much of them, overwhelmed. Also unhealthy food, lots of food particles, huge amount and heavy antibiotics or drugs, and infections. I've seen in my practice all of them, whether worms, whether infections, whether drugs. And what happens then? All this amount here, you can see really well on the picture, creates the inflammation stages in the guts. The mucosal cells, they get swollen. When they go down to normal, you suddenly got inflamed and leaky gut, whereas holes in it. And what happens then? All these particles, gluten, food particles, pathogens, worms, toxins, anything what's in your gut is suddenly through these holes start getting in the bloodstream. And this is also the way how parasites transport themselves through your blood circulation to different various organs. And also gluten-free diet for celiac. So you got inflammation, it creates holes, it causes autoimmunity reaction because suddenly these blood cells registering lots of pathogens, toxins, undigested food, parasites, problem in the gut. And that causes these autoimmunity diseases like Hashimoto, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, psoriasis, and so on. It's a whole list of them, all kind of autoimmunity disease, but it all comes down to your lifestyle and leaky gut syndrome. And these are the triggers. And now we're going back, hold on, and when we're going next thing, what I would like you to see now, what I would like to see you next video, how our gut looks in a real time. There are doctors, there are specialists to prove to people that worms do exist, the parasites do exist, all kinds of them. It's thousands of types of them. They do exist. And if people neglect their gut health, microbiome, neglect their lifestyle, what it leads to. In a normal picture, I'll look at the video and I'll tell you. Okay, I want to show you this. Okay, there's a video. It's very unpleasant view, but that's sometimes you see these worms. This is a intestines, big intestine, small intestine. That's what happen in a real life. What's going on in that mucosal lining, which causes inflammation, which causes, look how much dirt is there. Look how much worm. Normally, this is how your gut should look. But if you neglect it for years and for years and for years, unhealthy food, too many toxins, lots of parasites, and they breed that on your nutrients, they breed on your health, they breed on what you're eating. That's an answer to the people who buy even expensive vitamins and can't see a result. Because if your gut is that dirty, and that infested, it's no point to breed these pathological microorganisms and your microbiome, because they eat the first good nutrients and you have a tiny percent out of them. So your gut can't absorb it into your blood and into your system anyway. And look how it looks. And what I want to point out as well, that primary is always human's gut condition, not the diagnose. Here, you should look how it should look. Now look at here, 45 years old woman, female with the breast cancer and chronic constipation. Look how gut looks. That gut never seen anti-parasite cleanse, herbal. I'm talking about herbal. I will tell you later in presentation why exactly herbal, why not synthetical pharmaceuticals. And also chronic constipations can lead to it. So primary first step is your lifestyle and gut condition, and second is our diagnosis. And it can't go other way around. Diagnoses arrive on these gut conditions. Every single serious problem health diagnose, autoimmunity disease arrive on these absolutely disgusting gut conditions. And for you know this connection, you know what you got to do. but don't wait too long. Don't wait when it's, now I realize it, but when my son was really ill, when all my family has these diagnoses and we were really ill, I was looking for answers and I didn't understand why actually just taking vitamins and medication, it doesn't work, because you not concentrating in a root case. And normally here is 53-year-old male with a gout and chronic constipation. Of course he's going to have health problems, and of course he's going to have these diagnoses. This is how it sometimes looks in a real life. If people, ha ha ha, he, I don't believe in parasites, you don't need to believe in them. They just create a home. They just get into bloodstream and to your guts, travel around your body, start actually and multiplying in various organs, and that's just the life. And then you arrive a diagnose suddenly cancer, gout, kidney stones, gallbladder stones, blood pressure problems, all these. I'm not going to go to diagnoses. I just think what I would like you to show also, I would like to make sure in this workshop to show you there are signs. I can read the signs, and I've seen it in children. I've seen it in my kids. I've seen it in the customers. I've seen it everywhere. Signs of unhealthy gut. So first is the digestive issues. Whether bloating, whether constipation, whether diarrhea and constipation. When it's too many worms, it can be diarrhea. When it's too many toxins, it can be constipation, vomiting, bloating. I've seen lots of people who, especially, for example, in nature cycles, when it's a spring and everything grows and multiplies, they have tummy aches increase. So there is things going on within your gut, flatulence. Oh my God, I can tell about hours about this. My husband had flatulence, couldn't stop for 2 hours. And as soon as we did anti-parasite cleanse, it's all gone. It just mystically disappeared. So, for example, indigestion in children, very common itching in the evening around the anus, itching around the boom is itchy, Manny, I got itchy, boom, yeah, or even because they activate in the nighttime when they big mother worms come out and put lots of eggs around, and it's itchy. So mood issues, constant mood swing. You wake up in the morning, you're already really tired. Vitamin mineral deficiencies, this is a big one. My daughter had, and some of her customers had anemia, and people try to drink loads of iron medications and iron and pharmaceuticals and so on. And it's, you drink it, it goes bit up and it goes instantly down again, because there are particular worms as Ascarida. They drink lots of blood every single day, every 24 hours. So the more you feed them, the stronger they get, but you still lacking iron. And what I realized when we actually went through anti-parasite programs, my son's skin hair cleared, disappeared. Tummy aches disappeared for my daughter, anemia disappeared for my daughter. And after anti-parasite cleanse, we just use like natural supplements like lecithin, spirulina, and spirulina, clean eco spirulina, wonderfully raises naturally iron levels without any injections, iron medications, and so on. Other inflammation related to autoimmunity disease, about that we already talked. Skin problems. I've seen hundreds and times. As soon as we started doing anti-parasite programs and cleaning out parasites, skin just magically started healing and improving. All the spots gone, especially particularly, for example, also teenagers. Oh, that's a normal hormonal thing. They got lots of spots. As soon as we improved the diet and we went to anti-parasite, all these things disappeared. Acne disappeared. So other signs, headache, pain, of sometimes fever, something going on, inflammation in a body, and body natural response is in a fever because immune cells work faster at higher temperature. And that's another sign. Muscle pains. We had the children who was crying in the night with the muscle pain, joint pains, also fungi, bacteria, parasites like synovial fluid in the joints. And if you actually, you just drinking painkillers, medications, they do not remove the source of problem. As soon as we started going through anti-parasite, knee pains disappeared, joint pains disappeared. It was so much better. Obviously, we have, after anti-parasite cleansing, we have hyaluronic acid, bioavailable, we have other things which helps the synovial fluid. But first thing is, if you got so much joint pain, water and remove the pathogens which love candida. Fungi loves the synovial fluid. It loves to live there in these joints. So that's again arthritis, but it again comes down to autoimmunity disease and leaky gut. So we trade back not only like supplements improving joint health, but we coming back to gut microbiome improvement, visible signs, rash, pimples, skin, increased mucus, skin secretion, like in the night sometimes. There are some worms who travel from a gut to the here, and it causes asthma as well. You can't breathe, okay, Ventolins. But also they, in the lungs, they little worms, they live in the lungs to get the oxygen, and that's how they become stronger. They can grow faster, and then when they strong and they got the oxygen, they travel back to gut lining where they start multiplying. So when we clear out, we go through anti-parasite programs. This is actually reduces on some of these signs. Something all the time there, like also nervous tics, or aggressivity in children. I saw the sleeping problems in adults. Drooling during the sleep, teeth grinding, gnarling teeth. That's a very common sign. As soon as you see that, I had particular customers with this. They have a farm of many, many chickens, and it's like 400-500 chickens, and they were going through this. She heard one of my lectures, and she said, "Oh my God, all my sons and daughters, and my husband is grinding teeth at night, and it's so loud I can't sleep." They went through anti-parasite program, it's gone. And people actually get down to stress, to nervous system. Yes, because all these parasites in the gut, you got gut neuron linings as well, neural lining, and little blood vessels. It all affects your mood, your sleep cycle. It affects your nervous system. It affects your mental health. Appetite is really a good one. Where's the salt and cravings? Like when you got quite a lot of fungi in your body, you crave for marinades, really want marinades. And also sugar and sweet sugar and evening cravings. They are big ones. And okay, mood swings, lack of energy. I think I told you mental energy, depression, memory gaps, dizziness, tiredness, also like a not clear mind. You can't think clearly. I noticed lots of people were giving feedbacks back. As soon as they went through anti-parasite program, they suddenly had more energy, more creativity. They had lots of productivity at work. I remember one of the couples said husband couldn't finish. He had sauna project, for 5 years, couldn't finish it, didn't have energy, didn't have how to do it, didn't want it. As soon as he went to detox and parasite cleanse, he suddenly had lots of energy and finished it in 2 weeks. So productivity increases because they eat our nutrients and vitamins. Cough and runny nose, that's particularly a note, is that because lymphatic system is full, our canalization lymphatic system is full, especially children. It's a summer outside and you got yellow and nasty and full nose and cough in the summertime, or pneumonia. Clean out your gut, restore your gut microbiome, gut conditions, and it's going to be better. One really strong one, I want to show you one video about sugar. All these pathogens, parasites, worms, they love sugar. That's why your microbiome sometimes dictates you what's in it, dictates you what I want. As soon as you start craving sugar non-stop, this is time for a parasite cleanse. In this video, I want you to see how parasites, and you got the grain of sugar, and they're like crazy going, and in a longer term, 5 times speed up the camera, you can see how they feed on that sugar and they eat it all up. I want you to see it. Yeah. So there's going to be sugar crystal, and these are the worms, and they love sugar. Parasites all feed, candida, fungi, parasites, they feed on sugar. It gives them energy, to multiply. Look, time lapse 5 times more. They obviously they finish that sugar disappears, they eat it. So when children are crying, not wanting decent food, adults as well, and just craving constantly sugar, ask yourself a question. I've seen it in my kids, and I've seen it in many parents, and I've seen it in many moms reporting me back. As soon as we did anti-parasites, suddenly my child feels calm, he's more productive at school, his brain is clear, he got good sleep patterns, so he's not waking up, not crying, he is not grinding teeth, he's eating normal meals, he's fine. And after some time at school, yeah, you can get infected as well, especially lots of kids do not get anti-parasite, hands are not washed and anything, you can really easily get infected. I noticed normally that in 2-3 months being at school, my children are back to, it starts appearing cough, starts appearing craving sugar more, starts appearing other things, and you're like, okay, time to clean. And if you know these signs, you know it's time for a cleanse. And here I would like you to show a little bit how parasites breed and how grow in our body, how pathogens breed. Firstly, they enter the body through the eggs. So we will talk also about sources where you can get infected. So they damage the tissue, attach themselves to intestinal walls, so they get through. For example, with animals, particularly people sleep in a bed with animals. Animal breast can contain these parasite eggs, especially we do, every vet knows we do anti-parasite programs for animals, but never mention it to the owners. We had 3 big dogs at home at some point, and I'm not surprised why my children had such a massive problems, and we had problems with intestinal health and health all over, all together. And interesting is, even lots of people nowadays sleep and cuddle and animals lick them and all this thing, it's a infection and parasites are going to be there. So they find a breeding ground when they breed in a gut, then they enter the bloodstream. I show you how. Through inflammation, they create inflammation first. You do need to understand every single microorganism in our gut, they feed from us and they poo there too. So all the dirt, poo, toxins, proteins, what come out of these parasites, it's all in the gut, creating toxic load for us, an additional load for our body to expel them, and it's really hard. If it's in a moderate amount, it's okay, but it's too much, it's really hard. After they get into bloodstream through the inflamed gut and these holes in the gut, invasion, and it starts circulating, blood spreads these parasites in different organs, and they start settling. Like we had a customer with infected liver, so echinococcus, which breeds and grows in a liver, other organs. It can be in an eye, in a brain, anywhere, in the lungs, in the joints, feeding. Then they deprive us from essential nutrients and consuming them themselves. So taking us from these nutrients, that's where deficiencies come in. That's where anemia comes in. That's a lots of health problems start coming in, because they not only just deprive us from nutrients, they leave the toxic load. They poo. Actually, they poo in us and leave all this toxicity. And then parasites release also poisonous enzymes. So it comes out as a diagnosis: weakness, irritability, headaches, rashes, abdominal pain, abnormal problems with bowel. So now I want to actually talk to you a little bit where we can infect it. Untreated water, we already talked about it. Later I will have a video how it looks under microscope, water from our tap. Also, it causes people swimming in the summer, especially now, me living in the Mediterranean, yeah? And we had a couple of cases where Alicante, Valencia, and different parts of Spain, beaches were closed because bacteria in the water is too high. But in these warm waters where you got higher, my pool is 30 degrees regularly, because we got 37, 5 degrees in the summer, and beach water is 28, 30 degrees almost. So it's a great ground for multiplying these pathological organisms and bacteria. Don't forget that also, especially in a public pools, there are people with same mucus stuff, with dirty gut, dirty bottoms and everything coming in. So I find it highly dangerous, even it's a quite high environmental, how do you say, chemical or salt in the water. For example, last year we went to Benidorm, to Aqua Park, and in one day in the Aqua Park is average between 5,000-7,000 people in these waters. Now, when I'm going through anti-parasite and I'm looking at all these videos, materials, gut disruptors and everything, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to let my kids in it's better in a sea waters than public pools. However, even swimming in the lakes, we had issues when a girl had problems with the skin. We went for bioresonance, checked it. She hadn't been traveling, but she loves swimming in the summer in the waters, and she have, what was the parasite called? I forgot. And he said, okay, this parasite normally you can get in lake waters by swimming, but just swimming. Water gets in our nose, in our mouth, and so on. And lumblia, and this causes lots of skin problems. As soon as we went through anti-parasite program, her skin problems disappeared. Public transport, kitchen, we eating food out in restaurants, you don't never know what's going on there. Unwashed vegetable and the fruit, especially in the summer. Pets, I already mentioned it. Pets are definitely open door. I had one lady with a daughter, 8 years old. She had 3 years eczema, and she stopped me on the road and she said, I know you're doing herbal programs, maybe it would help, because we tried 3 years dermatologist with the creams, hormonal creams, and nothing helps us. We started going through anti-parasite. She increased, body healed, skin problems. It was quite severe. And then I noticed it starts coming back really fast again. So like body starts regenerating, but she gets it again back. And I said, where is the infection doors? Where is the doors where you can really quickly get again these parasites in microbiome and these skin rash and everything? And we realized they got 2 or 3 cats at home. And we never mentioned it before. Cats need anti-parasite as well. And quite often we had customers with dogs having one pill from vets. It does not work. Sometimes you need these herbal anti-parasite programs, because I had customers after vet pills having herbal anti-parasite program and still worms coming out. So switches, door handles, public transport. Here, eating habits, consuming uncooked meats and raw fish. My husband used to love bloody steak. So that bloody steak could be full with eggs and parasites, and you get them in straight to your guts. Raw fish, ladies who love sushi. Sushi, I love sushi. Uncooked fish, oh my God. It's a really, and this uncooked fish can cause later in 10-20 years serious liver problems, because parasites who live in this fish as well, they love liver to actually live in there. Frequent travels. We actually had a couple of customers doing bioresonance and going on the travels in Caribbeans, Mediterraneans, different types of places to travel. Asia. I mean, look in bioresonance, you see that parasite is not common for this area. Have you been traveling recently? Oh yeah, I went to Dominican Republic. Oh yeah, I went to Tunisia. And you're like, okay, I see it now. And this why when I travel with my family, we always have a set with a black walnut and other things, anti-parasite herbs. Make sure I don't need these uninvited guests in my guts taking them home. So these are the health effects here. I'm not going to go through through them. Obviously weakened immune system, pancreatitis, hepatic accumulation of toxins, and all these issues. So here we already talked through them. Also, what I noticed, people are coming to me in the spring with inflamed, enlarged lymphatic nodes. For example, here, the best medicinal response is to give antibiotics. Synthetic medical antibiotics disrupt microbiome. It cleans out good bacteria and bad all together. But it does not clean actually parasites really out. You do not remove parasites. And asymptomatic fevers as well. So especially in spring, like I said, when they breed massively, everything multiplies in the nature. It's just nature cycles. If we actually, this is spring for me, and autumn is the best term before autumn when to deworm an anti-parasite. My family and I also remind customers. So what I want you to look right now, okay? I had the customers as well, people just saying, oh, just whiskey, alcohol, and it will be fine. Parasites will be fine. Oh, they're gone because it's alcohol, disinfectant, you disinfect my guts and I will be fine. So here I want to show you one video where actually parasites, when get the alcohol, yeah, it gets lower. It can happen also with synthetic medications. I went through of them doing research. Synthetic medications can kill the worms in a body, and then we're sitting and waiting as a massive toxic load, them dying, toxic load for liver, for guts, for kidneys, to wait when that peristaltic, that with the poos are going to come out. What happens if they're in different parts of the body? No one knows. What happens when worms actually dying, everything what's inside them, whether it's eggs, whether little parasites, whether they are the little babies already, they all come out. They're not just dying there, holding everything in. And in this video, I want you to look what's going on. Oopsie, what's going on? Okay, we went too far, sorry. Yeah, it's going to be about tap water and about it. Oh dear. Sorry about this. Got too many videos, but I want you to see. Okay, this one. I want to see again. This is how parasites react when they got alcohol, or for example, chemical, vodka, alcohol. Okay, let's look again. It just gets, look, little babies out. Babies are coming out of these parasites. This is a normal tactic. One more time. Okay, one more time. I want you to see it. Here, look. Here, lots of little babies coming out. So they're not just dying alone. They let, again, lots of eggs or little parasites out, okay? Right, this is done. I want to look now, people who eat salmon, uncooked meat, not properly cooked meat, different type of meat, fish, and so on. Meat and fish is wonderful, beneficial for our body, but it needs to be properly cooked. And you normally, we never, watching screens, watching phones, just automatically eating. You don't know where it's been prepared, how it's been prepared. You just get it all straight in, especially with a steak, raw steak, or slightly cooked. Okay, medium rare as well, rare steak, fish, sushi, all this. Here, I want you to look at the tap water. It's a massively toxic and silent threat to all of us. Yeah, it filters, it makes that water cleaner, but it's still dead. And when we go further, I will actually introduce you to scientists put together efficient holistic herbal programs, which can actually efficiently work on many areas of your good microbiome, of your body, of cleansing. That's why we got such a vital result. So let's have a look at this one. So yeah, I know I love animals, but I know lots of people who might hate me right now. Please do not put them in your bed and sleep with them. I know it's a good hormones, it's a happy hormones, it's all that cuddling and love and everything you had, but when you sleep, these cats licking you and breathing at you and everything, I'd actually keep in different areas if you keep them in the house. So, and also regularly deworms them, gives them herbal anti-parasite. Is going to be highly beneficial for them, and your home pets and home friends can be safe and healthy for you as well. Cats are the most open doors, which I've seen. Okay, so I show you examples of parasite infections and signs in the body. So now big is the question, what do we do? How do we help? From my experience and practice, lots of people at the wide world, they use ivermectin. And they said, yeah, it's efficient. Yeah, people used to use in COVID times. And you actually noticed as they were using ivermectin anti-parasite, semi-synthetic derived from bacteria in a soil, but chemically modified. It's still not natural. People were saying, oh, my health improved and I can easier get through COVID. What you need to understand, when body's microbiome is compromised and these bad guys is too many and good guys is not enough, then that any virus, any pathogen coming on top, it's going to just break it down. Okay, immunity goes, just crashes. That's why anti-parasite actually works. When I'm actually doing antibacterial programs and antiviral programs for adults, for children, anything, I always often put black walnut extract because that's also beneficial in C vitamin. It's beneficial as an anti-parasite, actual natural agent and natural extract, and also helps strengthen immunity and reduce that pathogenic load. But you need to understand that ivermectin is not natural, and there are side effects. There are side effects. We can't, how do you say, we can't ignore side effects. Dizziness, nausea, diarrhea, mild rash, some severe, rarely allergic reactions. And people choose better allergic reactions or diarrhea or so on. Dizziness, it's better to get rid of parasites. However, when I went to research and I had all these common anti-parasite medications in pharmacy, I actually haven't found any single one natural, herbal. Herbs, which are all around the world, we have it on our table as a herbs, as a additives to our food. And this is what we need to think in a life. Everything in the nature is for us to be healthy. However, why do we need to use these synthetics? And if you go to common side effects, guys, it's a lot. Abdominal pain, nausea, headache, liver toxicity. This is really important for people who already have problem with the liver. You start doing anti-parasite pharmaceutical and your liver going to be signaling liver. I had a customer. She had inflamed lymph nodes, really big ones here in the spring, and she said, "I don't know what to do." And I said, "You got herbal options. You can go to doctor." She went to doctor, got the antibiotics. There was a party week, alcohol, antibiotics, and then she said, I have really bad blood tests. I got really high triglycerides in my blood test." And I said, well, it's no wonder, because triglycerides, high triglycerides, it's talking about overwhelmed liver toxicity. So antibiotics, synthetic medications, alcohol, bad food quality, okay, party food, yeah, what we're eating, junk, that's all went down to liver toxicity, and your liver signs are not doing well. What liver is doing? Liver is filtering blood in our liver is blood filter, and also do other 500 tasks in our body. So we, by raising liver toxicity, we actually how do you say, we actually helping our body struggle and go further with these diagnoses. And I'm not going to read all these, but there are quite a lot of side effects, guys, through all of these anti-parasite medications, and they are all synthetic. What I want to introduce you, that it's best for our body, more friendly, when you support your liver, when you have these enzymes added to your bitter herbs, anti-parasite herbs. Remember one really good saying old naturopaths taught me: sweet for tongue, bitter for liver, bitter for tongue, sweet for liver. And why we should use natural substances? Because human body is part of nature. We designed that way by designer, by God, that we can assimilate products only which are source of plants or being animals. And these natural products can get assimilation into our body by 98%. And when we choose also dietary supplements, we eat food from plants, vegetable, berries, roots, and I am cooperating, we're doing these anti-herbal, anti-parasite programs together with a company who is a leader in this field. Natural herbal extracts, comprehensive, put that by scientific board, which is called Coral Club. Synthetic products, which are available in pharmacies, they are not, your cell can't recognize it. Your cell cannot absorb synthetic product. They pollute the body, damage the kidneys and liver, form as stones, deposit onto blood vessels. And this is, you should know. People normally are not taught, here you go, anti-parasite. No one teaches you about side effects, and no one teaches you a effect it can create, because our body is designed that way. It only can absorb substances which are from source of nature. And when we're talking about anti-parasite programs, it's vital, not just having, you know, I've seen many people, oh my God, I have parasites, I need to clean out. Oh, try this herb, try this. And people dance around not having certain system. And system is really vital here. When we talk about anti-parasite program, we're talking about water. I will introduce you in a minute. We're talking about water, alkaline water, structured water, bioavailable. We're talking about bitter herbs. We're talking about liver support. And we're talking about enzymes which work together with immune cells to break down that dirt and get out of the body. And here, I am not going to go through it, but I can give you also, you can stop the presentation and look through. There are most common anti-parasite herbal remedies available every day in our home. So you can find these herbs everywhere around us. Like these tansies, my grandmother used to all the time give us with the honey to eat in the summer. That's how she anti-parasite us. And that's how I seen worms coming out. We used to use these yellow, we call them yellow buttons. That's a tansy. We used to treat intestinal worms, rheumatism, digestive problems, fevers, and sores. And I remember my grandmas used to do that. Thyme, powderco, oregano, garlic, clove, black walnut. These are very common them. And I'm not going to go through them. However, when I start introducing you to anti-parasite packs, what you need to bear in mind, when my grandmother, she lived in a good environment. She lived in the middle of the forest, right? Few of us live today in the middle of the forest. I live in the mountains, in the middle of the fields, but a bit away from my house, there's still broccoli field, which is still get sprayed with pesticides. And living nowadays, it's not only, how do you say, challenging to grow these herbs, but it's challenging to keep them clean as well. And then I remember my grandmother, she used to pick up herbs certain times, and she used to dry them certain way. And in our busy routine, I find it absolutely almost impossible. You need to be deep in a head in a forest, herbalist woman, who actually does it. But when I started working as a naturopath, that was actually for many holistic coaches and naturopaths, it's a challenge to find these herbal solutions united together in a selection. And when I came across this company called Coral Club, and I found these put by scientific boards and scientists who work years and years on these herbal extracts together, these packs, I was shocked. You know why? Because they were comprehensive ingredients. They all contain a huge amount of herbs, natural herbs. They all highly GMP qualified. They all have already by specialists and professional specialists clear dosages and regimen in them. Clear jars, herbs in with certificates in ingredients, and it also actually integrated so you can keep using. You can use your lifestyle. You can go on with your lifestyle, but just apply them as you go. You don't need to compromise your routine and lifestyle. And also, that also with a scientific board worked on a holistic health system, which works perfectly. So today, also, I want to introduce you to these packs, Parashield Plus and Parashield, which is anti-parasite gut cleansing comprehensive sets and packs, which really made a difference in my family and in families of customers, thousands of customers in the world. My husband actually went through Parashield Plus. This is our favorite program. I'll tell you why. And his asthma was gone forever. So basic smaller pack, what includes inside? I want to introduce you quickly. Parashield pack, there are 5 products put together in that pack for 30 days. Also, price is amazing. It was about $80 on a month. It's like I laugh, guys, it's a less than 1 visit to restaurant. So you can cause yourself 1 visit to restaurant, less than 1 visit, or 1 drink in a pub. in a bar, and this is your whole monthly program. So what it does, it protects from parasites, detoxifies body from parasites, restores good microbiome, microflora, and strengthens your immune system. And we go through it. What I liked here, and I didn't find anywhere else going through research, because I'm a really good researcher, first and based on all programs, is these coral mine essential mineral minerals, which you put like a little sachets for whole month, 30 sachets, you put in a water. I don't think I have in mine. Okay, never mind. And I normally drink in a water, and that's how we start our water. It's from Okinawa Island. Natural minerals with 70 minerals. You put in a water 5 minutes and it's ready to drink. It maintains an optimal pH and acid alkaline balance, improves in the body, regulates our mineral balance, normalizes our functions, organs, and improves blood quality, and improves our waste water taste, and actually it removes the toxins. This is absolutely amazing, because when you go through anti-parasite program, you put massive restraint on your detoxification system, gut, lymphatic system, kidneys, liver, and respiratory system. They all trying to expel these toxins. And when you go through anti-parasite cleanse, it's a massive pressure going on your body. So even if you're doing it friendly with the herbs, you need support for all these stages. Coral burdock root here, it supports kidneys and liver function and gallbladder function, removes toxins from the body, reduces inflammation on gastrointestinal tract, helps restore microbiome. Also, there is superflora, which is probiotic formula, bifidolactobacilli biotics, and prebiotic inulin, which restores a good microbiome. Also, there's instructions in the back how to use, when to use. It's absolutely amazing and easy. And this one, MSM, it protects from allergic reactions, as lots of people got autoimmunity disease and allergies. It's again down to gut problem. And this biological sulfur, MSM, it slows the allergic reactions down by supportive immune system. So it reduces oxidative stress. So it means people who go through anti-parasite cleanse, they're not going to have huge amount of these suddenly immunity going crazy. What's going on? Because that happens. And the main one here is a 12 herb combination paraphyte called, with a comprehensive anti-parasite effect. And there is chamomile and all these bitter herbs, anti-parasite, which already black walnut, oregano, thyme, 12 of them, which also helps restore intestinal mucosal lining. What I normally advise when people take this little pack, they have no digestive enzymes with them, plant-based digestive enzymes. So I prefer people use papaya with curcumin extract for children, or assimilate plant-based enzymes with A and D vitamin for adults. So that's one of them. However, we have also improved formula, and that was small packs. This is Parashield Plug big pack, which got all the same products I just told you. But what's beneficial is here also water, but water for 2 months. And this is a 2 months program with 8 products. And why I love this one, because when we go through anti-parasite cleansing, quite often people struggle not only with toxins and parasites, also it's a huge colony is fungi, candida, candidosis, and all other different microorganisms. So black walnut, as a black walnut extract with a high C vitamin dosages, and black walnut itself, it works as an antiviral, antibacterial, anti-parasite herb. Really good works with any kind of anti-parasite programs. But if you look here, you got paraphyte with 12 herbs extract and black walnut. Here you got also digestive enzymes to help your digestive system expel the toxin and waste. And also you got here Pau d'Arco. Why I love this pack, because Pau d'Arco is most effective in a whole world antibiotic, natural antibiotic, and antifungal, anti-parasite, antifungal effect. So if you have really aggressive bacteria like streptococcus, staphylococcus, fungi, candida, that Pau d'Arco with black walnut together with paraphyte effect works absolutely amazing. And it's also quite nice, gentle 2 months cleansing. Okay, so yeah. And plus Pau d'Arco contains also selenium and C vitamin. So I love this pack, you can see it. So both of them good. Also, I wanted a little bit touch as a potential herbal extract for what and what's available. Normally, when you have big problem with parasite infections, parasitical infections, I advise people to add another anti-parasite herb. If you have water, you have digestive enzymes, plant-based, you've got liver, kidney support, burdock root. So all these things are actually really, really good. For example, here I got anti-parasite program for children. Normally we do it to each child depending on kilos of children, how heavy they are, how big they are. But again, the same stuff. Normally it's a and water, black walnut, garlic. Garlic works really well for small parasites. Papaya, again, is digestive enzyme, and lecithin. Lecithin support bile production, and lecithin supports liver as well. So this is for children. Garlic, I already mentioned. In these garlic capsules, we used also for people who got really sensitive digestive tract, so intestinal gut. But in one garlic capsule, there's a whole garlic clove, a whole garlic head with lots of cloves in it. So it's a quite high dosages, but it's so natural and such a good extract that it actually does not even, how do you say, it doesn't irritate the gut. And we had it. Also, one of my favorites is Laxmax. If you look here, guys, I just put ingredients in it. It's not just magnesium, which it helps. Actually, magnesium helps movement of the bowels as well, but also there's psyllium husk, inulin, alfalfa, supports also kidneys, coral powder. Normally, I add these for children programs, for old people, as a bowel movement and gut schrubber instead of colon cleanse. For adults, we have also next stage colon cleanse programs, but children can't go through these colon cleanse programs. They are really nice and friendly. So as a prototype for colon cleanse with coral powder, shrubs the gut, and all these algae, cascara, rhubarb, root extract, sienna leaf, Pau d'Arco, black walnut, cloves, blaeberry, watercress, parsley, echinacea, fenugreek, rosemary. This is a Laxmax. Absolutely amazing combination. Works really well for anti-parasite programs. And another one of my favorites, because I like fish. I like salmon. Salmon is full of parasites. Opistop, which contains rose hip extract, long pepper extract, aspen bark extract, licorice root extract, yarrow flower root extract, and tansy flower my grandmother used to give me. These are really, really good for people who particularly love fish, because fish is kind of type of worms. So all these are really good. Why I introduce them to you and also show the cases. Why do we need anti-parasite? How to do safely? How to do friendly? How to benefit from your body being healthy forever? We use these programs and we recommend to customers, recommend to everyone, because they are comprehensive. Ingredients are highly researched, put nicely together, supporting each other. There's a massive work behind every formula. The easy, clear dosages. Every program has instruction and clear dosages. They really easy integrate in any person's lifestyle, and also it's goes as a step of a whole conceptual holistic system. Detox, anti-parasite, colon cleanse, cellular nutrition. You do not put nice things in your gut. You do not put nice things in your gut if it's dirty. There's no point put nice furniture in a dirty house. You first clean it out and then you put good things in, and then you see benefits. And here, I'm not going to go through each person's particular story and results. I want to just show you some of the results as people going through anti-parasite cleanse and how they change. Ladies with the weight problems, with the hormonal problems, with the skin issues, mood problems, nervous system problems, men with the skin problems, nervous system problems, children with the skin problems. Your children's skin problems signal about this. Rashes, look, psoriasis, it obviously took 4-5 months. It doesn't take 1 month. You just follow the step-by-step cleaning. Some people started with hydration and detox and moved to anti-parasite. I love the men, I love the women, how they change going through these programs. Skin quality is different, eyesight is different, mood is different, hormonal balance is different, lifestyle is different, guys. I'm not going to go through every story, but that was it for my webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, this is all the important information which I could give you. So thank you for listening. It was really, really important, and thanks for listening all. There are my contacts on my presentation as well if you want to contact me. And also keep healthy, be educated, read the signs, do the cleansing, and live happy and balanced life. So thank you and bye. Okay.